What's up, y'all? Quick check-in. So, it is Thursday, 8:40 a.m. I have to go shower in a sec. But, I was thinking about on the way back from the gym that I had a good session. Everything went well. I did about an hour. Today was arm focus, and I'm I'm realizing because I'm noticing a parallel between like what I do in the gym and what we do in business. And I used to not get results in the gym. Now I'm consistently getting results. And it's going to come full circle because I want you guys to really take away the shift that's necessary, because a lot of guys feel like they don't have time, or they already know what they're doing and this, that, and the third. And I want to kind of take the ego out of it and literally take the ego and take it out of your body, right? For a second, because there's nothing special about me specifically. Yes, there's obviously something special about me. I'm awesome. But the point is that I can't do anything that you can't do. For example, I can do what you can do. There's nothing unique or special that separates what our capacity is. And I'm really just here to be a reminder to guys who know this, but maybe they forgot that they're the shit, that they know that they're amazing men and they should reflect it in every way, shape, and form. I believe the way you do anything should be the way you do everything. And in terms of how we progress through life, and I know some people will be like, oh, I have my journey, and we all have our journey. However, if you're seeing this video, that means your journey led you here, and you should, maybe pay more attention or be aware again. Try not to be in the loop of what you've been and pay attention to where you are now and where you're going. And I think that's a perfect segue into the concept that I've been meditating on, which is, as I was saying before, we are all of the same capacity. The person who's a bodybuilder, or a person who's a millionaire, or whoever, a playboy, whatever person that there is, they have a personality and they've grown into that. They weren't just born, we're all born as babies. We all have to grow, we all have to mature. And sure, there's nature versus nurture. However, above the nature versus nurture is awareness. And we have the capacity to change. Like the term shifting cold turkey, that's a term for a reason. That person right then and there made a shift to a different version of themselves. And I'm saying that to say the excuses you have right now are your old version trying to not get taken away. It's your old version trying to keep you where you are slash were, while the new version, think of it like, in the cartoons, they got the bad guy on the one shoulder and the good guy on the other shoulder. The new version is the future you. The bad version is the old you. You are not your old version of yourself, and you don't need to be, right? I know a lot of the times we associate development with different phases of our lives, but we should always be developing, always be changing. I find that a lot of people, not you guys, but I know a lot of people out here in the world kind of get stuck at a certain developmental level, and that's what really keeps them where they're at, unfortunately. So you can absolutely shift to the person that you want to be. And the way that I like to think of it, and the way that I've been thinking about it and shifting my awareness to, is what would the version of me from the future do now to get me to there? Reverse engineer it, because if we look at it like linearly, and that's the point, that's the destination, we got to do the right things across that line. We can't stay where we are here and just hope. Hope is not a strong place to stay in, really, because hope is like, it could go right and it could go wrong. You want to have confidence, you want to know, and you want to have confidence that the actions you're taking today are in fact getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. Otherwise, you're going to be living in with this like gut feeling, like knowing that you could be and should be in a further place at this point in your life, or have certain things together. And it's really just a matter of you having made the actions consistently to be that version. And I always relate it to working out. And this is why I like doing the training aspect with men, because it's such a specific thing that you have to develop upon. And it's not something that you can just buy once and just get it. You have to literally become a different person for those shifts to take place, for the adaptations to take place, for the results to come. My coach actually said he feels like with content, it's like a 90-day cycle. What you do today won't really affect you until maybe 30, 60, 90 days from that point. And so you should automatically have that delayed gratification kind of built in, where you then find the joy in what you're doing today, because that's where the power comes from. When you can, as people always say, it sounds cliche, enjoy the process, it's a different experience. But that brings me back to what I was saying before. You don't really enjoy the process as much when you're not getting closer to the result that you want. And so that's why some people hate working out, because they, in my opinion, they never did it right. Like, you should love working out. And half of it is like, every time I go in, I'm compounding the effort and getting even better. I think of it like the bank. Imagine you could easily just go to the bank 3 times a week and make deposits and just know it's just going to exponentially grow. Everybody would do that, or at least the smart people. Some people wouldn't still, obviously, because you can, and that does exist. However, that's the same thing within the gym. The smart people know that they should be compounding their time and effort, because what's the end result look like? You're either going to be strong, healthy, able to run around with your kids or grandkids and not be dependent, or you will be in the chair or in the bed dependent on someone to wash your ass and to, walk you down the stairs because you're like decrepit. And we don't have to go down that decrepit route, but it takes intentional planning, just like your retirement takes intentional planning. This is really planning for your retirement. How do you want your golden years to be, right? So we should take more investment into our health, because it is the most important aspect of our living. You can be alive and not live. And not living is really not moving. That's really, because movement is life. I'm not saying anything that's like crazy far-fetched here, right? Movement is life. And the sooner that we can align with that version of ourselves who feels strong, feels capable, it's not about like being chiseled and bodybuilder. Though, if you do it right, that's an inevitable outcome. And this is what I'm getting at. When you shift now to become the person who does the things that has the result that you want, the result that you want is inevitable. When you can reverse engineer that and have confidence and know, not hope, that makes enjoying the process so much sweeter. Because it's like, this is it. I'm already there because I'm doing this now. And it's a more empowering feeling. It's something that you want to show up and do again. And it's, again, only inevitable that you start to see results. It's incredible, really. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I hope it finds the right person. You deserve everything that you can conceive, but you have to conceive it first. Take the time to be more intentional with what you're doing on the day-to-day basis. Take the time to be more aware if you're moving the needle in the direction that you want. If you're not, you know what you have to do. If you are, let's go. You already know how good that feels. Just make sure it applies to every aspect of your life. Really quick thing, and I'm gonna go. I was telling someone who I just met, like, I treat everyone almost the same, and with genuinely unconditional love, right? Like, I want to see you happy. I want to see you win. I want you to see you be the best version of yourself. And I want to be an example to those who maybe don't see that it's possible. Just like how people used to be like, oh, you can't build muscle on a plant-based diet. And I was good. I was healthy where I was at. But I was like, let me just go for it. Let me see how much I can do, because why not, right? Let me just go for it. I'm going to be putting in the effort in the gym anyway. Let me just dial it in further to make sure I get the result that I want. And for you, it could be the exact same thing. And the beautiful thing about all of this, like, yes, I'm talking more in the space of fitness. However, it's the same thing within the space of money, of income. Develop that skill. That thing that you always wanted to do, you have to develop the skill first. You have to do the things that person would have done already to be where he's at. He already has the skill. That's why he's valuable to the marketplace, which is why he has the income that he has. It's just a matter of compounding those skills and showing up for yourself over time. I'm going to go shower. I don't really stink. That's another really quick thing. Plant-based eating, man. I haven't used deodorant. Y'all gonna be like, word, yo, I have not used deodorant in years. I don't own deodorant. I use some like body spray for like the gym and when I go out. I got some cologne, but I don't use deodorant. Anyway, I'm not saying you have to go plant-based, but you should probably eat a more balanced intake. Until next time, let's raise the bar.